Grains, while browsing Instagram this week, I was for some reason suggested 3 different kinds of videos of 3 different techniques of abstract painting, and then the first thing that came to mind is
I really need to try these out
to see if they end up being a good result or just they just look good on Instagram. And so I want to bring you with me, so come with me, and let's explore these 3 completely different methods. The first method I want to try, wait, right here. Right, this right here, is a method I saw by Wicked Winks, and it looks freakishly gorgeous. And I love that tie-dye effect. Let's take a look at the video together. So the first thing we can see is that there is a base of resin, and if you don't know, resin is like this medium that turns into a plasticky glass. And from what I gather is that she's putting ink right on top to make this kind of tie-dye effect. And once it's put down, it's just kind of getting this really cool separation. I'm just, every time I stare at it, I'm like, I'm in love. I'm so in love. Just look at it. If we look at some of the pictures on the Instagram account, by the way, all dimensions of all the Instagram accounts will be in the description box below, so make sure you check them out and give them much love. Shameless plug, don't forget to follow me too. And sometimes on the front it has like this color of splash, so I really want to try and achieve that. Before we begin, this week's shoutouts go to Pocket Lucius and JulieJess2008. Remember, if you want to shout out in my Friday videos, don't forget to hashtag Nerdification Squad in the comment section below within the first 45 minutes of a video's release, or hashtag NerdyCrafter on Instagram or Twitter anytime with any of your creations. Wicked Winks is super nice enough to let us know that the products they're using is art resin, as well as alcohol inks. So I do have a stash of my chameleon inks, so I'll be using these. And I'll be using epoxy 2-part resin from Sophie and Toffee. And the reason I want to use this is because it's much thinner than regular resin. So very, very excited to try this. And I'll be using a silicone mold also got from Sophie and Toffee. Not sponsored by any of these companies, but if you want, I'm open. All right, since this is a 2-to-1 ratio, if I put 4 drams of the bigger one, I only need to put 2, which means in total I should have 6. My math is okay. Hear me good? I have no idea why this bottle over here is so hard to squeeze. It's like, I'm squeezing and only droplets are coming out, please. It's not like milking a cow. The thing about resin is you really need to stir it properly. If you don't stir it enough, what's going to end up happening is it's going to just not harden, or you're going to get it to turn into yellow mush, or it's just going to turn weird. So spend at least 3-ish minutes stirring that stuff. Like, you see that? It's all foggy. By the time you finish stirring it, it should be clear. So here's our resin, absolutely clear. The little bubbles, that's normal because you're stirring stuff and you're just putting air in there. I'm not a scientist. I just figure that's what happens. You know, I'm not really smart. Is this even gonna be enough? All right, let's find out whether or not this is going to be enough. Let's pray to the resin gods. Dear resin gods of Evermore, please protect my piece from overspillage, overheating, and correct ratio. And also,
be sure to cure my stuff.
All right, here we go. Yes, yes, victory. The resin gods have blessed me. And now at this point, I am absolutely lost. Help me. I'm just going to open the refill of the inks and put a pipette in the... Can you see? Oh my god, I got tinted. Help. Okay, so we're just gonna put a pipette in here. Yeah, this is gonna be staining my finger, isn't it? And then we're going to be going in the order of blue, yellow, and then red to make this kind of rainbowy effect. Voila. I'm nervous. Now I'm legit nervous. Okay, so it's blue. Let's look at the video again. Blue, yellow, red, blue, yellow, red. And then there's a white pigment that's put on top to kind of make them separate. So let's cross our fingers and hope that's what happens. I am so nervous right now. Okay, let's smush the pipette. Ooh, that is pretty. I feel like I'm gonna have to go fast. So let's smush all the other ones first. Oh wow, you can see I am panicking. Yellow, very nice. I am so nervous. I'm just gonna prep them in front of me. Yellow and red. They are on standby. I'm going to ruin my backdrop, but it wasn't that nice in the first place, was it? No, it's just something I put together last second. Oh my god, you have to work faster than this. Yellow, me good. Red, I am not working well. Me good, she makes it look so easy. Yeah, I think I'm messing up, Grains. I am officially worried over here because it just looks like an absolute mess. So let's go ahead and put that white pigment right on top and hope that it does help. Let's do this and see if it separates. That is not separating. If we look closer down here, it looks like the white pigment sunk all the way at the bottom. So what I'm going to try and do to try and salvage it is I'm going to use just pure alcohol, like rubbing alcohol, and see if that's going to help it separate. I changed my mind. What you gonna do? Come fight me. Come fight me. So I'm gonna take some of that white pigment and rubbing alcohol, mix them together and take a syringe and see if I can salvage it. I'm so sad right now. Excited to see what this is going to look like, but since we used 2-part epoxy resin, we have to wait between 6 and 8 hours. So I'll see you in 6 to 8 hours.
24 hours later.
Here we are well over 24 hours later, but I am so petrified. I am so scared because it looks nothing like the back parts of her creation. I mean, just look at it again. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's vibrant. The colors look like rainbows. And then there's mine. It looks like coffee. It could be rainbows for some people in the morning. All right, let's just unmold this atrocity. It really, I mean, just look at the other side. That's what we're dealing with, grains. Even if I fail this one, I want to try it with UV resin, but at the end of this video. So let's first try this out, see how badly we did, and then we'll move on to the next one. Oh my god, I am so worried. I don't want to turn it around anymore. I'm so scared. Let's pull this out. Oh, that is gross. Ew. It's like, hang on, before we turn it around. It's like the pigment on the inside just dropped past the resin and made this gross film. You ready to see the front? You ready to see the front? Because I'm not. I mean, good. Ready? In 3, 2, 1. Oh, that is gross. Maybe if I wipe this off. All right, so here's a alcoholic swab wipe thing. Kind of like a baby wipe. Let's see what we can dig out. More grossness. That's what it seems. I just don't even try. Stop it, Jackie. Just stop. Why is this sticky? I mean, good. This just goes to show that even if an artist is fully transparent, all their materials and methods, it doesn't mean I have the skill to do it. So kudos. I think if we hadn't put that white pearly pigment, we could have had a chance at doing something. I mean, you could see there's a little bit of a color splash going on. So we're gonna try this again at the end, but with UV resin. For now, this here, my little grains.
In the trash.
This next one is from Sculpey. So the clay company that I use, they have something called liquid clay. And they made their own version of an acrylic pour. So they're using their clay Sculpey, liquid Sculpey, the one that I use to put things together. And they're mixing different colors and different tones into little like muffin moldy things. The only thing that bugs me just a little bit is they don't say what is that red pigment. I have no idea what it is, but I'm going to assume, again, inks. And once it's baked, it should look like an acrylic pour. I picked up really tiny canvases from the dollar store. I highly don't recommend you do this with liquid clay. And the reason is because it's expensive as heck. More expensive than acrylic. After a couple of seconds of research, I froze the video. And we can see that the ink that's being used seems to be a Pinata Jacquard ink. So it's supposed to be an alcohol-based ink, so my chameleons should, in all technicality, work. I say very hesitantly with a high-pitched voice. Oh, that was hard to do. That was really hard to do. So I guess we'll be trying our inks again, and maybe we'll get coffee color. Maybe I should just give up at this point. And lo and behold, I have little silicone muffin cups. Joke's on you. My craft jar is full of useless things that I may or may not use at some point, maybe, perhaps, possibly. And then they seem to be diluting it with another bakeable medium. My guess is that it's the equivalent of a clay softener, which is the same thing as a baby oil. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then once I dilute them, I'm going to layer them on top of each other, and then we're gonna do the pour. Now what we need to do is just pour, oh my god, do not spill. Need to pour some of this in here, some in here, and just keep repeating. Man, those molds are terrible ideas. If there's anything I learned from my previous acrylic pour, is that these babies, they're gonna be needed. The first thing they did in the video was put down one of the colors that they really wanted, I guess the leftover. So I'm going to go ahead and do the gold, because gold is gold. Now I'm nervous. I'm suddenly really nervous. Let me watch the video. Hey, pause. Time's up. Alright, so it seems like they poured both at the same time on either extremity, and then they added the ink. So let's do the doing. Where are my inks? Oh my god, I did prep the inks. So far it's looking surprisingly really awesome. I don't know why surprisingly, but it just does. And the last touch that they did was they took like a pointy tool and added a little bit of marbling. So let's randomly marble. Time to shove it in the oven for half an hour. Here it is, all baked, and it looked a little plain and pretty flat, so I decided to give it a coat of varnish. But instead of varnish, I used iridescent nail polish. I think it looks pretty good. Now, the question is, would I do this again? And the answer is no. No. Did you see how quickly my face transformed? No. It costs a lot of money. Cleanup is a bit of a pain in the bum. I mean, look at all these containers. Your best bet is to shove them in the oven, bake them, and then just peel it off. That's what you could do. That's my suggestion. But I wouldn't replace acrylic pouring for this. It's pretty, but meh. But the technique does work. And now for the last technique, painting hack that we're going to give it a try. Painting hack, technique, painting technique, hack. English. Very nice. Very nice. The next one is super hyper giga mega gigantic simple. I've seen this a couple of times, a little bit of everywhere. I think I even may have seen it at 5 Minutes Crafts. And the abstract painting in this specific video is really neat. I mean, it's so simple. It's just your primary colors. I don't know why there's white when they showed at the beginning, but it doesn't look like they're using white. So we're just going to use the three primary colors. And I guess it's important to have a box that fits exactly your canvas, but since I don't really have one, I'm going to end up using tape and put it around. But yeah, it looks really cool. The only issue I see with putting all three together is you're gonna end up getting brown somehow. There's gonna be
contamination.
And then you could just hang it up. Let's do it. Alright, so I had to go pick up my chicken because he was screeching his little lungs out, right? And there's just no way to stop him once he starts, right? I have different marbles. I have a couple of them that are textured and some that are smooth. Dollar store, thank you very much. Let's start prepping. You can't see him, but he's actually shaking his head too. Now we have yellow. I'm just gonna use them straight out of the bottle. These are dollar store ones. Don't hit me. So they should be thin enough. Blue. Peekaboo. Does that even exist? Oi. And green. Oh my god, I didn't even realize that we have 3 different sizes. I really didn't realize that we had the medium ones. I think I'll put the medium one in the blue. Why did I freeze? Medium goes into blue. Smooth one goes into yellow. And textured goes into red. The glove is back. An angel is petrified by it. You okay? Are you scared? Alright, let's start with blue. Let's start with blue. Plop it in. I need a napkin. Give me a second. And off we go. It's like playing that game. What was that game? Now my whole floor has been tainted blue. Oh, it's called the game Keep Your Stuff Inside the Tape. Jackie, right? Yeah. Did I mess up? Yeah. I'm gonna go get it. Am I smart? He didn't agree with that one. I wonder where it went. I kind of really like this effect. It almost looks like calligraphy. Like this. Like that. Alright, now we go for red. And drop it here. And now I'm gonna be a little more cautious because I should. last but not least, yellow. I'll be very honest, I didn't think I would like this out of all the tests, the techniques that I've tried today. But this one seems to be like the most idiot-proof. So it's made for me. Right, Angel? So what, you agreed when I said, am I smart? And you said you didn't say anything? And when I say I'm an idiot, you agreed? Like, dude, thanks for nothing. Thanks for nothing. All right, off we go with yellow. I'm gonna drop it right in the middle. And here it is. The technique I was thinking was the simplest and kind of the most banal is practically the only one I achieved successfully. It's actually pretty simple. It really is a 5-minute craft. Legit. That was easy. I'm almost in disbelief. There is some cross-contamination and that does bother me, but it can be easily remedied by letting the first color completely dry and then going on to the next one. Although some of the contamination does have its charm, I prefer clean, crisp colors. I did promise one last bonus and one last attempt at the resin piece with the ink, so let's do that with the UV resin and see if we're gonna get coffee. Gross coffee again. Since we're working with resin, I had to put chicken away for chicken safety. Make sure your pets are never around any kind of resin or toxic craft things. Alright, so for this, I'm going to be using, again, Sophie and Toffee resin, but this time I'm going to be using the thin type, which just basically means it's runnier. And I'll be using UV resin pigment dyes. The biggest difference between epoxy resin and UV resin is that epoxy resin is 2 parts, you put them together, and you wait about 8 to 12 hours. UV resin is amazing. All you have to do is pour just 1 part of the resin and then let it harden either in sunlight or with a UV light. So we're going to attempt the same technique, but this time with a resin that hardens much faster. Maybe that way we won't get mud. Dear resin gods of Evermore, please protect my piece from yellows, cracks, and coffee looks. And also,
please harden my stuff.
the nozzles on these are really thin, so hopefully we can get the effect. I really don't know. Wicked Winks does a great job. I just love those pieces. All right, so we're gonna start with blue. Oh man, these are very... Oh, that is not gonna work. Maybe they'll spread. Let's just hope. I'm starting to see a pattern with a problem here. The second I put in the white pigment, it starts to sink to the bottom. So we need to harden this ASAP before it ruins things again. Let's just put the light right on top and turn it on and just wait for a few minutes. Why do the resin gods hate me? So as you can see, the actual pigment itself will not harden because it's not made out of resin. So we're going to put one last coat of resin right on top, harden it, and hope that it works. Otherwise, at least we tried. Alright, this is just not going well at all. The resin does not want to cure with the red inside. So you can see that it did harden with some of the blue, but the second that you start moving this, look at that. The red is just coming out of every single little crevice. So I guess we were supposed to mix it thoroughly, which is weird because the blue worked, the yellow worked, but the red, nay. Alright, so I'm gonna clean this up off camera and then we're going to unmold it and see this monstrous disaster. So disappointed.
Disappointed!
Gloves again? Why yes, I do want me some gloves. Because I have to head to class right after this, so I don't want it to look like a pen busted all over my hand. Alright, let's see what this looks like. This is terrible. What a mess. Oh my god. Oh, that I didn't think it would be possible to make it worse, but here it is. Alright, let's clean it up even more to be able to see what's happening in there. Alright, so despite the mess up, I feel like we got a little closer, but it's because of the white pigment dripping all the way down and ruining
Why did you ruin everything?
But if we look closely, that painting kind of watercolor technique is somewhat there. So it is there, it's really pretty, but I think the technique that Wicked Winks use has a lot to do with the exact materials and probably a lot of practice and technique. I have to admit though, the back part of this resin piece, I am in love with it. Just look at all the bumps and textures. Kind of looks like a cave. I like this part better. See, if we didn't have the white in the front, this is probably what it would look like. So of all the techniques of painting that I tried today from Instagram, which one are you most likely to do? And don't use the excuse that it's the easiest to do because I still really want to work on the Wicked Winks technique just because it's absolutely gorgeous. So make sure you give all these Instagram accounts mucho love. I'll leave all their links in the description box below. Thank you so much for watching, my little grains. If you want to watch a salty video, make sure you check over here. And if you want to watch a salty video, wait, did I say salty twice? I think I may have. Whichever video you want to watch, one of them is going to be recommended by YouTube and the other one's going to be the most recent video, so depends what you like to watch. Until then, I will see you grains in the next video.